All right, guys, it is tuxedo time. Take two. 98 card SGC order back from SGC that I just submitted last week. Believe it or not, this order, well, I don't know if it's last week, but let's just say this is some lightning fast turnaround time because I submitted this in the middle of May, and it is May 21st. This order literally just came in yesterday. And I'm just now opening them up. So we're talking about lightning fast turnaround time. All right, so SGC dropped their prices back to what I consider a very reasonable level. And I'm happy about that because I do not want to sit on this inventory. So what you're going to see of these 98 cards, you're going to see a couple of different things. Overall, I'm very happy with these orders. Very, very, very happy. So let's go ahead and get them out, and I'll explain the rationale for what is constituting these orders and why I sent them to SGC. So 4 boxes, we'll go through the grades. Let's start this way. So as I alluded to in my last video, for those of you who stuck to the end, this is a video that will come. Trust me, it's going to come. But I went through about a projected resale value of about $200,000 worth of inventory that I bought after December, really January, February, March, etc. And went to pick up that inventory in March, and PSA was no longer open for business. So bad news, right? Not good. Not good at all. Let's split these guys down here, get it a little bit lower. So not good. This order consists of some of the cards that I was going to be sending to PSA, but they are rejects. So they're rejects for what I was going to be sending off as PSA regular orders or some of the modern bulks, etc. But because PSA closed down for business, I didn't want to send them there. But also, I wasn't going to spend the $100 per card that they were charging in between March and April. These cards just weren't good enough for that. In addition to that, the condition of them was not good enough for that. So I still wanted to submit them somewhere. So I was hanging on to some of these guys to maybe send off as bulks whenever it reopens, or maybe CSG or SGC. These all were going to go to So basically, I got my cards all prepped. PSA closes down for business. I'm like, oh crap, that sucks, right? So I begin prepping to send to SGC. I wake up, have all my cards prepped, go to SGC, log into my account to try and begin typing in these cards. I see the prices jump to $75 a card from $25. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I've been sitting on these things wondering, what do I do with them? I've already sent some orders off to CSG. They're going to be there probably for the next 2 years. But SGC lowered the price to $30, which was enticing enough to me. It's close enough to $25. I was going to send them for $25. Might as well send them for $30. So that's what I did. Now, the majority of these cards fall into that bucket, that $200,000 for the inventory. But I also had some other cards that I'd bought since then that are included in this. They're in no particular order, so I'm just going to go through these guys. Grading gem rate is not good. And again, I'm not expecting it to be good because these were rejects for PSA. I wasn't going to pay the prices for cards I knew were not going to be gem mint, but I also wanted them slabbed. So that's what I did. All right, now we got the background information out of the way. I am going to lower this. That way you can hopefully see it a little bit better. There we go. Get it in the light. So first card is Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Refractor. It's the left side Refractor. Both-sided Refractor is the best card to get, but I have the Kobe one. Knew this card was not going to be a high grade, but again, won it slabbed. This card I'm actually a little disappointed in. I thought that this was going to be maybe an 8 or better. It does have an edge chip there. Has some edge chipping on the back, which SGC, got to get out of that habit. These are SGCs. This is tuxedo time, all right? There's some edge chipping here that is contributing to this grade. SGC, man, they are pretty darn harsh whenever it comes to grades. I think that helps them in the long run because they grade fairly and they grade accurately. So next up, LeBron James, Darko D Wade Matrix rookie. This came back a 9. This is about right where I expected it to be. Centering is okay, but again, these are very, very hard grades. So overall, pretty happy with that. That'll probably do pretty good. Next up, here's some wild cards. So we're talking about 2012 Panini Select. I got a LeBron James card that came back Gem Mint. That's pretty good, right? Out of 2012 Select. Now, granted, this is the insert. It came back Gem Mints at All-Star Selections. No idea what to value this as. There's not even PSA 10s out there. This is a card I would love to send to PSA, but again, not whenever they're closed down for business. Next up, this is a really cool card that I love grading. I've graded this as a PSA 10. Now I've graded it as a SGC 10. Scoring. This is LeBron's first Scoring Kings card. This is kind of pays homage to Jordan Scoring Kings to me in a way. It's cool that LeBron has that card. I'm not a LeBron fan at all. Many of you likely know that. I despise him, to be accurate, but I will grade his cards and sell them. I've completely purged everything out of my PC that is LeBron James. I will not PC any card of his, but I will continue to grade and resell for those who do not care what he does on and off the court. It's the off the court stuff that really bugs me. All right, so that card is Gem Mint. Really curious to see what it goes for. Next is a LeBron Select Red. Came back Gem Mint as well, number to 199. So got a string of Gem Mints here for some of my Ultra Moderns, which is really good. Next up is a Luka Doncic, Donruss rookie, Gem Mint 10. So again, the Ultra Modern market has taken a dump, but it is still worth it if you get Gem Mint cards back, in my opinion. Next up is a Luka Doncic Superstar Die Cut second year. This is the silver version. Really, really nice card. I thought it had a good chance at being Gem Mint, although the surface on these is pretty funky. So that's probably why it came back bad. Oh, I'm so glad that they are labeling these correctly, because whenever I got the grades, I didn't think that they were labeling them appropriately. Oh, this is so beautiful. Man, I really wanted this in a PSA grade, but I'm sure SGC is happy to take business away from PSA and market share and good cards. And that's actually what is happening, because I sent this there. Beautiful card, man. This is the Emerald Chinese New Year second year, numbered to 88. Cool card. Very, very cool card. I love that card. So really cool card. Took a pause in the video just because I wanted to get everything unboxed and now have it all here on the desk. So next up, Conor McGregor, 9.5, really nice card. Rookie Topps Chrome. Those look pretty nice. I bought a bunch of these for the sole purpose of sending off to SGC. As you can see, this one came back a 10, really nice. And I also have another 10 and another 10. And you know what? I also got one more 10. Beautiful, beautiful. Super, super excited about those. Those looked like they were doing well in PSA holders and SGC holders. Not many out there, so very, very happy with that. Next up, my first mislabel. Unless I missed one already or already pointed out and have already forgotten about it. This is a Rookies and Stars Travis Kelce Longevity. Longevity is missing. You can clearly see it on the card. I had that listed in the database whenever or at least in the order. So they mislabeled this one. Not cool. Not really excited about that. Whenever you spend $30 a card, you expect that to be caught. But it was not. All right. Panini Select. I'm very, very happy about this card. Gem Mint 10. I have no idea what it's going to go for, but at least it came back a Gem Mint 10, so that makes me much excited. And then we get into some duds here, really. Justin Herbert Optic Rookie Phenoms. This is the vertical version of this card. I really like the cases. The card does, you can hear that. It rattles. I mean, there's no real security to this at all. Every thick card that I submitted got a 9. Which kind of stinks because if I look at these cards, I actually think that there might be some damage caused in the slabbing process. Like, I don't think that corner was like that. I really don't. So maybe they were damaged after actual grading the card. Maybe during, I don't know. But every thick card I got a 9, and that's totally different from what I'm used to. I knew this card would not do well. 2 corners, and then that corner is a little light. Let's just put it that way, white light. Then a yellow press proof 9.5. I was really expecting this card to be a Gem Mint card, to be honest. I didn't send it to PSA because it was too cheap, but I expected Gem Mint, as well as some of these finest cards. Sent off a couple of these Matt Stafford rookies and didn't do well on them, even though they kind of look good to me. So not really sure what I missed on some of those. Next, Kobe Bryant, Operation Invasion. This is the force field version, which is a die cut. So you can also see there, it's the force field version. You can tell SGC grades these older cards with, back edge wear, which is just how it's cut. It's just how the card is made. Grades them really tough. There is a corner issue right up here. But overall, pretty accurate. I would say accurate, tough but accurate in terms of grading. Again, not something I would want to send to PSA unless it was in a bulk. Matt Stafford Bowman Chrome Refractor. This one also came back a 9. It does have some surface gunk that I couldn't get off, so that one went there. And then last but certainly not least, have a Patrick Mahomes Optic. For those of you who follow the channel, I have a million of these that I've graded. I know what a Gem Mint card looks like and what doesn't. This card, I bought 4 or 5 of them. All the others went to PSA. This is the lone reject. It does have surface issues, so I did not want to send this to PSA and pay a lot of money for it, but I did want it slabbed. So it got slabbed. It came back an 8.5. I was actually expecting a 9. That's I think the worst grade I've ever gotten on one of those optics is I think I've gotten only 9s or better. So I did hear that I have some food that's warming up. I'm going to go pause this again, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. So let that food cool down just a little bit, and I'll see if I can get through the rest of these guys. So that first box was really good. I have some other ones that I think they're going to be really good as well. I think one of these stacks not so good, but here's some good ones. Panini Spectra, Patrick Mahomes from 2020. This is the base card, number 99. It is a silver card, number 99, but I believe that those were base, so I don't think it's mislabeled. Gem Mint, pretty nice. Second year select field level. Again, I love select field levels outside of what they did with football this year. Panini completely ruined the brand. Shame on you, Panini. This does have some stuff on the back that I couldn't get off of it, so it came back a 9. Really tough grades, I will say, overall on select. Especially these premieres. This is a second year premier silver. Came back a 9.5. I was kind of expecting Gem Mint for that. And actually, Gem Mint for these next two as well. So I have the base and then another base. Both centered very nicely. Both came back 9.5. So looks like they're cracking down on dimples. They really grade those pretty harsh. Bradley Beal. This was going to be a PSA card, so instead it goes to SGC and it gets a 9.5. Overall, pretty clean card. It does have a little bit of surface. Micro scratches, but not terrible, still Gem Mint worthy from what I could tell. Speaking of Gem Mint worthy, this one has kind of that same thing that the Bradley Beal had on the right, but it is a little bit better centered. So Jimmy Butler came back a 10, and then I also have another Jimmy that came back a 10. Does have a little scuff on the case, so that one's not on the card. And then I have another Jimmy that came back a 9.5. That one's a little off-centered, but still relatively clean. That one's probably a good PSA 10 candidate, as seems like SGC is pretty tough on centering. Last but not least, yes, guys, I knew this was going to get a 4. This has a crease that I did catch. I didn't want to sell this crease. It has a crease right there. Given that I bought 4 of these and I didn't really check them whenever I opened them, there's just too many cards that I opened. I couldn't tell who slid this in, but I believe that sellers that do this are doing that purposefully. So it really sucks. Shame on you sellers for doing that. There's a special place in Hades for you. Hollowed Tom Brady Silver, first year of optic. That one came back an 8 because it does have some marks on the front and also on the back. Now we're back on the 10 train. Joe Burrow, Optic, Blue Scope Prism. Beautiful card, graded 10. Next we got a Travis Kelce Prism. Beautiful, beautiful card. This one came back at 9.5. I was actually a little bit disappointed that this one came back at 9.5. I thought it looked pretty clean. Surface is clean, centering's clean. But we'll take a 9.5. There's not many of these graded in a SGC holder, so should do pretty well. Next, again, these thick cards did really, really bad with all the thick cards with SGC, and a lot of it I almost feel like it's damage caused after the fact, or maybe this is damage just jarring around in the case itself, but this is a Prism Justin Herbert jersey, came back a 9. Little disappointed in the thick cards. Next up, really cool insert for Kobe. For some reason, these guys are really taking off, and I think it's just the aesthetics. 2000 Topps Gold Label Jam Artists. That one came back a 9. And then I also, of course, have another one. Came back a 9. Got a really good string of cards here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Ohtani Topps Chrome Update batting stance. So this is the rookie debut. A lot of people say rookie debuts are not in favor, but it's kind of getting to the trend where if you have a good pose or a good picture, it's a highly valued card. Or it's a highly collectible card. Let's move these out of the way. Try not to block too much of the light. Get a little bit of that refractor glare there. So yeah, these guys really, really, really nice. Very happy about getting all these to gym. I'm actually surprised that I didn't get a pristine on one of these, or really any of them, because these are pretty great, easy grades. But it's okay. Next, have a finest Dirk Novitskiy rookie. Came back at 10. Very happy about that. Super happy. This is a good card because, again, you can buy these in the 20, 30 range, get them graded. You know, it's $100 plus, 100 to 150 all day long. This is a really, really nice one. I wish this was a 2019 rookie, but I'll take the second year. 2020 Topps Complete Set Fernando Tatis foil board, numbered 264. So these are the foil boards that come in a complete set. Again, have more junk in the case. I wish that they would have a little bit better quality with that because the cases look so nice, but they have all this junk that's inside the case. So, I mean, that happens with a lot of holders, but I think it does happen more so with these holders. Next, we have another Herbert, and you can see almost same in damage in the exact same spot. So, same grade also. So that one is down, and now we're going to move on to our next stack. Let's see if we can break these down a little bit. So first up, have an Illusions Patrick Mahomes insert. Came back a 9. I expected that. I didn't think that it was necessarily going to gem. Really, really nice grade with this Travis Kelce. This is the Select Silver Prism. Not many of these out there. These are kind of difficult grades. Try to get that out of the way, but yeah, these are really, really sharp. Then got a blue Prism, came back a 9. I'm very happy about that because it has a massive dimple right there. I was not going to send these to PSA and pay the fee to have these graded just because I knew that they, for the most part, would not gem. This is a camo. Camo has came back a 9.5, which I'm very happy about as well, as there's some micro scratching on the card. This one came back a 10. The light blue pulsar, and this gold or orange die cut numbered to 50 came back a 9.5, which I'm pretty happy about this grade too. It had a good shot at being a 10, but came back a 9.5. So really only got 110 on all the Travis Kelce Prisms, so it does show that SGC grades hard, although again, not all of these were clean cards. This is a card I'm a little disappointed in that it didn't gem. That's, I think, a spec. I don't think that's an issue on the card. This card is crisp and clean, and it came back a 9.5. So this is an example of a card that is undergraded. I think a couple of the Kelce's are examples of overgraded. Overall, I think it probably balances out, maybe to the point where I think cards are graded fairly, but maybe they're a little harsher than what you would typically expect. Gem Mint, this one is a Gem Mint Kobe, Revolutionaries Impact. Superstars, this is a card that's mislabeled. I wish that they had labeled this one correctly. This is one of the few cards that are mislabeled, but actually pretty happy with the grade because it does have some issues, but it should be a silver Prism for that insert. Next up, got a Green Duty. Green Duty. So Prism Green Duty, 9. And you can tell the card is way off center, left to right. I got a pretty good buy on this, so it's why I bought it, even though I knew that it wouldn't gem. The next, Jaylen Brown Hollow. And it's a little off center, left to right, so I think that's probably one of the big reasons why it did not gem. Next, we've got some more Prisms. Julius Randle. This is a purple die cut, number to 139, came back a 9. LeBron Refractor, came back a 9. You can see it has this massive spludge spot there. I have no idea what it is. It's not something that comes off. It's just like inked into the card. The rest of the card is literally perfect other than that one surface spot. So that knocked it down to a 9. This is a really, really nice card. Julius Randle, blue prism, number to 99, SGC 10. So really, really nice card. That helps that this guy's in the playoffs and doing really well right now. So hoping he can win a playoff series and maybe catapult that value a little bit. Orange Select Prism, number to 60 for Julius Randle. This is a card that I think is undergraded. This card should probably be a higher grade than a 9. As a lot of the grades that did get 9s, they had very obvious flaws, and that one didn't really have an obvious flaw that I could see. This LeBron, I knew that it was not going to be able to gem. It has some issues on one of the corners, so definitely just happy to have it slabbed. Damian Lillard, Prism, does have some surface issues. You can see a little spot there, and then also a scratch at the top, so that Prism came back a 9. Tim Duncan Silver Finest. So this Silver Finest came back a 10. I'm actually really, really happy about that, as these are much less often found on eBay compared to the bronze, the regular one. And this is the gold. The gold I thought also looked really good. This is a very close SGC 10 9.5. I don't really see many issues with this. I think that this is a card that could be regraded as a 10. So again, pretty tough standards. And then of course we have the regular. This is the bronze that came back a 9. Next up, Kevin Durant Select Orange Prism came back a 10. Pretty happy about that. Then we got a Patty Cake Optic Orange Prism, number 199, came back a 10. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. And then from the same set, I have the Aqua, came back a 10. And last but not least for this is a awesome card. So Travis Kelce Select 9.5 10 auto, number 199. This is a silver prism from Select autograph, number 199. I'm probably not going to do good on these Travis Kelce's. I really needed more 10s, so I think overall I lost on Kelce. I have the better cards going to PSA. Again, a lot of these just had issues with the card, and they didn't necessitate getting sent off to PSA. So that's the big reason why they went here. So I'm actually pretty happy with the grades, as I'll be able to salvage something out of it. But I'm hoping that I get better results with PSA, because the better cards did go there. Matt Stafford Green Refractor came back an 8.5. Kind of scratching my head on that one a little bit. I mean, there's a little bit of edge stuff on the back, but nothing that's like super glaring. Edges don't look like they really have any issues outside of the white. And the surface on these is usually pretty clean, so may have missed something, possibly. One of my favorite cards in the order, Studio Steph Curry, came back a SGC 10. Awesome card. So I should be able to do really well on this easily. You can see this card even has a little bit of white on the edge, very similar to that Matt Stafford. So again, I don't know what they're picking up on the Stafford. Really don't know. So next, 2013 Prism Steph Curry came back a 9. And I think compared to some of the other Prisms that I sent off, I thought that this is probably in line. I mean, it does have a little bit of micro scratching there. It was a 9 to 9.5 candidate. I don't think it was necessarily going to be a 10. This is a card I was really curious how they were going to grade, because at first thought, or at first glance, it looks like every corner is crisp, but this corner right here, if you bend it in the light, it has a slight bend to it. So it's not like it's white, like rounded, it's like bent. So really wasn't sure how PSA was going to grade this, but as you can see, they graded it pretty tough. And there's actually another little spot here on the edge that's almost very similar. So it refracts the light differently. So yeah, they definitely graded pretty hard on that, which I'm actually kind of glad for. I'm glad that they actually have some pretty tough standards. So yeah, Next, Conor McGregor, back on those chrome, that chrome train. This is a refractor. Came back a 9. Very happy because it has micro scratches. And next we have a green refractor number 99, 9.5. And this one has scratches. It's not as bad as the refractor. So I knew that this would not be a gem mint card, but I'm very, very happy with a 9.5 grade. Again, the SGC 9.5s actually do very, very well. So I'm any 9.5 I get, I'm not disappointed with at all. Joel Embiid, I did not want to sell this card raw. As you can see, there's a huge finger. It looks like somebody just jagged their fingernail right in the surface of the card. So clearly obvious, has a huge dent. You can tell how bad that knocked down the grade. Otherwise, the card's fine, but that itself is a 3-point deduction, all the way down to a 7. So big, big, big drop. Next is Zion Williamson Choice. It is off-centered top to bottom, as you can see. Actually just sold a PSA 10 of this card, and it has a... no, it's actually part of the case. Sold a PSA 10 of this card the other day for about $700. So this card's probably not going to do so hot. So I'll probably take a little bit of a loss on this card by the time it's said and done. But probably should not have bought the card because I don't know what I was thinking. I saw that the card was off-centered whenever I bought it, so not really sure what I was thinking. Kevin Durant, National Convention Pink Prism, number 210. That one came back 9.5. Man, and look how tough that they grade these 2020 Panini Prisms. So it's Jalen Hurst. Centering on this is darn near flawless. There's no surface issues that I can tell. The back edges and corners, so there's a little bit of corner and edge wear here on the back. So that one got knocked down to a 9. And this one's a 9.5. So again, very, very clean centering. It's that one corner right there that's holding the card back. So yeah, this is a very accurate grades and very tough standards. So that's actually very impressive. And again, I'm okay with that. Very nice to have standards because that's what's going to maintain the value of the brand over the long haul. So John Morant, Optic Hollow. He's had a really good start so far, at least in the play-in game, and looking to see what he can do in the playoffs. This one has a little dimple. So it's clear SGC does knock dimples. Not every grader from every company will knock dimples, but it's clear SGC does. Centering is not perfect, but I would say within tolerance. But yeah, that dimple definitely knocked it down to a 9. And you know, they also are grading these pretty tough too, but very, very accurate, I would say. So Justin Herbert, Optic Hollow, it's a little off-centered left to right, probably 60-40, but enough to knock it down to a 9.5. And then top to bottom is probably off a little bit too, maybe 55-45. So that is the end of this one. Coming down to the wire here. So, and then we have 3 more that didn't fit into any box. So this is the last stack. This last group of cards, it wasn't the best, I will say, in terms of grades. So Mythical Justin Herbert came back a 9. I'm very, very happy with this grade. This is 2013 Panini Prism, Silver, Kobe Bryant. I bought a lot of these Kobe's from the same seller, and I learned after the fact that he then later listed all of his Gem Mint Kobe's. So a lot of the Kobe's that I ended up buying from this seller were all already cherry-picked and picked through, despite the listing showing that all the cards were in Gem Mint ready condition. So it was very, very disappointing to see. This card has a massive, massive corner ding. Whenever I got this, I was so disappointed. Thought about returning it, but I was like, whatever. Not every card's going to be Gem Mint, but for Prism, you never see corners that are damaged this bad. But came back a 9, and that's a very fair grade. It could have actually been a little bit worse, to be honest. Select Silver Prism. This one came back a 10, and I'm very, very, very happy with this because I bought 4 of these. This is the worst copy. The other 3 went to PSA, and this one came back a 10. So extremely, extremely happy that that one came back a 10. So hopefully PSA treats me well on what I thought were the better copies. This is a select insert, silver prism, accurately labeled this time, so very happy about that. Came back a 9.5. And again, this also came from that same seller, as did this. So another select red hot purple prism, number to 99. Centering looks pretty good, but this one does have some edge and corner issues on the back, number to 99. So beautiful card, just not gem mint. This is a really cool card. Underrated insert in my opinion. And Fleer Force is not a very popular brand, but I like these early Kobe cards. I think that they're greatly underappreciated relative to all of the Panini junk like what we just looked at. Like these are really cool cards. Fleer Force Field parallel. This one came back a 9. It does have a little bit of edge wear on the back. But beautiful card on the front, sharp corners. Edges are great on the front, just some issues on the back. It's really nice. And also some Kobe Bryant Bowman's Best rookies. So this one came back a 9. Does have some surface issues and also off-centered top to bottom, as you can see. That's kind of a big key. The 9s for this, last time I checked, are still pulling around $400. So I sent, again, my worst Kobe's off here to SGC just to get slabbed. But still, if they're able to pull 350 to 400, I think that I'm still doing pretty okay on these cards. This one does have a little bit of surface stuff that you can see in that silver area. The centering is a little bit better, but it also did end up coming back a 9 as well. So I am okay with that, really. Especially since my better ones are at PSA, and I'm hoping that those end up getting graded a little bit better. Donruss Optic, Patrick Mahomes Mythical insert, came back at 10. Beautiful card. Very happy with that grade. A 2020 Panini Rookies and Stars, Patrick Mahomes Gold Prism. This is the airborne insert. So I tend to think that Mahomes cards, especially gold prisms, and even inserts like this, because I mean, if you go to select, there's going to be like 10 different gold prisms, it seems like, but there's only one version of this type of card. So I think that over time, these are going to be highly sought after and collectible, like similar to the basketball gold prism. So really, really happy that this one came back at 10. Then also have a 2017 Mahomes Elite Draft Picks Status Die Cut. So this is numbered to 99. And this one, I knew that it probably wouldn't be gem. I was hoping it would get a 9.5. You know, I thought that it was actually a little bit cleaner than a 9, but these are very tough grades, especially with the die cuts. So not too disappointed with this, but I would have liked to have a 9.5. Definitely wasn't going to be a 10 candidate. Otherwise, probably would have sent to PSA. All right, last 3 cards. Let's see, what actually do I have here? Okay, oh yeah, one of the last cards is really nice. So first up, Patrick Mahomes. This is a select maroon prism, number to 149. I've graded several of these through PSA and SGC. Happy it pulled a 10, because left to right it is a tad off. So happy with that. Very, very nice. Then I also have another Travis Kelce. This was the autograph that I showed earlier that pulled a 9.5. This one is a 9 with a 10 grade. It's very, very nice. Last but not least, one of my favorite cards also in the order, Topps Gallery Kobe Bryant Gallery of Heroes, came back in SGC 10. I think this is a really, really big card. You know, PSA 10s for this are in the 1,000 range, so I would say this puts this value at maybe 500, maybe 600 on a good day. We'll see what the Kobe market's doing. Since there's a lot of Kobe cards out there, the market's a little bit flooded right now, so we'll see. We'll see what these end up doing. Overall, I'm very, very happy with these cards and how they graded. And the fact that I'm able to just get these things out, get them graded, and then also be able to recoup some funds. Otherwise, this was dead inventory because can't submit things to PSA. And these were all the cards that I was going to send to PSA, but it was just too expensive or they were rejects. So they needed to go somewhere else, and SGC was not an option at $75 a card. At $30, definitely attractive enough. So I'm actually very, very happy that they lowered those prices and I was able to get these back. Overall, very happy with the results. The quality of the cases, I still am very impressed by. Wish they could improve a little bit on the QA process, including the mislabels as well as the fuzzy stuff in the cases. But overall, once PSA comes back and CSG gets their act together, and SGC has less pressure on their volume, I think SGC long term is a very attractive option at that $15 a card price point. If they could get their pricing to be in the $15 price range, I could see myself using them for a lot of different types of cards, especially these types of cards. Like, this is perfect for this. 30, it's tough. Whether I want to keep doing this for $30 a card, I think mainly this is good to just move inventory, but also I do have some purchases that I'm also going to test out for sending exclusively to them while they're open. But yeah, long term, I don't know if the $30 card thing is going to be something that is very appetizing for me. But we shall see. We shall see. Overall, very happy with this. Let me know what you all think down below. We are going to have a lot more videos coming, and hopefully there's going to be some PSA mail days at some point once they start getting through this backlog. But let me know what you all think, and we will see ya.